The candles were still burning on my birthday cake when my mother stood up suddenly. She said, "Before we cut the cake, we need to talk." The room felt different right away. Everyone stopped moving. My cousin pushed her chair back slowly, like she wanted to get away from what was about to happen. "This is not just a birthday dinner," my mother said. "This is an intervention." The word hit me like a punch. An intervention. That word meant something bad. That word meant my family thought I had a problem. My brother Tyler reached into a leather briefcase next to his chair. He pulled out a thick folder. His hands did not shake. He looked calm and ready. "We are concerned about you, Abby," he said. "Your spending is not good. You are unstable. You make bad decisions." 6 family members sat around the table. All of them looked at me. All of them judged me. I realized something important in that moment. This was planned. They had prepared for this night. Tyler slid the folder across the table toward me. It looked like he was presenting a case in court. Inside the folder were many pages. I saw my bank statements. I saw screenshots of my bank transfers. I saw a list of my therapy appointments with a yellow highlighter over each one. My aunt cleared her throat and said, "We think you should have someone help you control your money." Brooke, my sister, looked away. She would not look at me. My mother put her hands together like she was praying. But this was not prayer. This was humiliation. I opened the folder slowly. I turned each page. I did not rush. My face was calm. The numbers were real. But something was wrong. The numbers were not complete. Some pages were cut short. Some parts of the statements were missing. Someone had removed the columns that showed money coming into my account from the family trust. That was not an accident. Someone did this on purpose. I did not say anything yet. I needed to be smart. I knew something they did not know. I had the full records. I had already checked everything. 3 months ago, I had noticed something strange about the money. 3 months before my birthday, I saw that my quarterly trust distribution was smaller than usual. Our father had died when I was younger. He left his money in a trust. The trust was divided equally between my brother Tyler and me. Tyler said he would manage the trust for both of us. He said he would handle the paperwork and the money movement. But 3 months ago, I noticed the money was not right. I sent an email to the trust administrator. I did not tell my family. I did not post in the family group chat. I just asked a question quietly. I asked if the money was correct. When the official statement came back from the trust administrator, the numbers did not match what Tyler had told us at family dinners. Money had been moved into something called a family investment allocation. I never agreed to this. I never signed anything that allowed Tyler to move my money. That was the day I stopped trusting my brother. So now, sitting at the birthday table, I knew something they did not know. I had already checked the records. I had already discovered what Tyler had done. Tyler had always been the responsible one in our family. He was the one our parents trusted. Everyone believed in Tyler. I was different. They said I was the emotional one. They said I was the creative one. They said they worried about me. It was easy for them to believe I spent too much money. It was easy for them to believe I was unstable. It was easy for them to believe I could not take care of myself. It was very convenient for Tyler. At the dinner table, my mother kept repeating the same words. "We are just trying to protect you." But protect me from what? From my own money? From my own inheritance? That did not make sense. I let them speak. I let them say what they wanted. I did not interrupt. I let them stack more assumptions on top of each other. The more they talked, the more confident they became. They felt stronger and stronger. Confidence makes people careless. My aunt slid another piece of paper across the table. "This document lets Tyler help you with your money for a little while," she said. But I read the small print carefully. It was not temporary at all. That meant I would be locked out indefinitely. They had written all this paperwork before they even asked me what I had to say. This was not concern for my well-being. This was a power grab. This was about taking control of my money. I smiled. A small smile. I reached into my purse. I pulled out a white envelope. I placed it gently on the table in front of everyone. "I am glad you brought paperwork," I said softly. "Because I brought some too." The table went silent. Tyler's jaw became tight. I could see the muscle in his cheek move. Inside my envelope were official statements from the trust administrator. These were not partial statements. These were complete. They showed every dollar that had come in and every dollar that had gone out. They included all the transfers Tyler had made without telling me, all the money movements, all the redirects. My sister Brooke finally looked at me. Really looked at me. Her eyes met mine for the first time all evening. Tyler tried to laugh, but the laugh was not real. Those are just internal movements, he said. You would not understand how investment structuring works. I understand math, I said. I slid another piece of paper across the table toward my mother. It showed a column of numbers. I had circled the totals with red marker. The difference over 6 months was very large. It was not enough money to destroy everything, but it was enough that no one could deny it was there. My aunt's face changed. She was not confident anymore. Brooke's voice became very small and quiet. Tyler, she whispered, did you tell her about the LLC? An LLC. Another word. Another secret. Tyler looked at Brooke with anger in his eyes. A warning look. But it was too late. I did not blink. What LLC? I asked. Tyler did not answer. He said nothing. The silence told me everything. The LLC was presented to me as a family growth vehicle. They said it was for real estate. They said it was an investment. But I had never signed anything that agreed to this. I had never given permission. And when I looked at the official filing, it said Tyler was the sole managing partner. I had no control. I had no authority. My portion of the trust had been moved into a company that I did not legally control. That was not oversight. That was theft. That was diversion of my assets. But I had already prepared for this. 2 weeks before my birthday, I had gone to see an estate attorney. I had done this secretly. I had brought documents. I had brought screenshots. I had brought emails. The attorney was calm. He did not yell. He did not get emotional. He just said, let him keep talking. You need to hear everything he has to say. So I did let him keep talking. Back at the birthday table, Tyler was explaining about market volatility and investment returns. He had no idea that I had already filed a request for an independent audit of the trust. The audit report was finished that very morning. I had received it just before the birthday dinner. I had not opened it yet. Timing was important. I let Tyler continue to talk. He was performing like he was an expert and he was smart. My mother nodded at him proudly. At 8:17 in the evening, my phone buzzed in my purse. The email subject line said, Audit Findings, Preliminary Summary. I did not open it right away. I waited. Timing mattered. I needed to let Tyler say more. At 8:22, I opened the email and read it. The audit confirmed misallocation, unauthorized transfers, conflict of interest. I placed my phone face down on the table. Tyler was still talking about how unstable I had become. He was still trying to convince everyone that I needed help. I interrupted him gently. Tyler, I asked softly, why did you not tell us about the management fees? Silence. Complete silence. What fees? My mother asked. I slid the audit summary across the table. Tyler's face lost all its color. He looked very sick. The narrative that they had all believed was starting to break apart. Management fees had been taken every month and moved to Tyler's personal account. It was calculated and planned. Small enough to hide. Large enough to matter. My aunt started to reread the documents. She looked confused. Brooke looked physically ill, like she wanted to be sick. My mother's face changed. For the first time, she looked uncertain. Tyler stood up abruptly from his chair. His composure broke. For the first time, he did not sound calm or prepared. This is being blown out of proportion, he said loudly. You are attacking family. You hired lawyers to hurt me. I did not respond with emotion. I spoke in a quiet, steady voice. I hired a lawyer to understand my own trust, I said. I hired a lawyer to understand my own money. Brooke spoke up. She admitted that she had signed papers for the LLC without understanding what they meant. Tyler had told her it was routine. It was just normal business paperwork. She had believed him. My aunt admitted that she had assumed I had approved everything. She had not actually checked. She had just assumed. Assumptions had built the trap that caught all of us. My mother asked one question. Her voice was steady and serious. How much? She asked. How much did you take? The word take was important. It was not redirected. It was not invested. He took it. That word meant theft. That word changed everything. Tyler did not answer immediately. He just sat there. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. The total over 18 months was 6 figures. It was not enough money to destroy our family financially, but it was enough money to destroy our family trust. It was enough money to end relationships. The silence that followed was heavier than any yelling or screaming could have been. I had one more thing to say. I have already started restitution proceedings, I said calmly. My attorney gave me 2 choices. Tyler could pay the money back privately, or we could go to court and make it formal and public and legal. I chose the private option. If Tyler paid everything back right away, we could handle it privately. But if he did not pay right away, we would go to court. Tyler understood immediately. The choice was not his anymore. I was in control now. For the first time in my life, I was not the emotional one at that table. I was the only person who was calm. I was the only person who had control. Tyler looked smaller, like he had shrunk into his chair. My mother looked betrayed, like she could not believe that her son had lied to her. By 11:30 at night, the family intervention had completely reversed. It was no longer about me. It was about Tyler. A repayment agreement was drafted right there at the table. An independent trustee was requested to take over the trust. Tyler's authority was revoked. But I had one more truth to reveal. I calmly showed screenshots of text messages. Tyler had sent these messages to other family members. In the messages, he called me unstable. He had shaped the perception of me and the family. He had not just stolen money. He had worked to make sure that everyone believed I was the problem. That was the deeper betrayal. That was the worst crime. The room fractured completely. My aunt left first. She stood up and walked out. Brooke followed her. They did not say goodbye. My mother remained seated at the table. She looked stunned, like she was seeing my brother for the first time and did not recognize him. 6 relationships changed that night. Brother, mother, sister, aunt, cousins. The family trust was broken, but something inside me was restored. Tyler finally spoke, but he did not apologize. He just said quietly, I did not think you would notice. That was not an apology. That was an admission. He had underestimated me. He had thought I would not pay attention. He had thought I was too emotional or too careless to notice what he was doing. He had underestimated what silence could do. At 12:03 in the morning, the candles on my birthday cake were cold. The wax had hardened. The flames were gone. My birthday ended without cake. We never cut it. We never sang. We never celebrated. But by the end of the month, restitution was complete. Tyler paid back everything he had taken. A new trustee was appointed to manage the trust. Tyler had no authority anymore. He had no control. I did not win loudly. I did not yell or scream or make a big scene. I won cleanly. I won with facts and documentation and patience. 6 relationships were destroyed that night. The family was fractured, but one relationship was restored. Mine with myself. For the first time, I trusted myself to take action. I trusted myself to be quiet and prepare. I trusted myself to know what was true, even when everyone around me believed a lie. The birthday intervention that was supposed to humiliate me became the night that exposed the truth. Tyler had not expected documentation. He had not expected me to be prepared. He had not expected me to have already contacted an attorney and ordered an audit. He had expected me to cry. He had expected me to be defensive. He had expected me to fall apart when they confronted me. But I did not fall apart. I was calm. I was prepared. I was in control. That was the real power. Not yelling. Not anger. Just the quiet strength of knowing the truth and having proof.